Welcome back. Today is 20th of August on a Saturday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will translate to 21st of August, Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Singapore Asia time. Wow, welcome back. Whoever is tuning in today, you must be my most loyal, most loving, most supportive hardcore fan. Wow, really excited to see all of you. Welcome back. Woohoo! This is mind boggling. And I want to pay my greetings to our YouTube member Hiram. Aha, thank you very much. You are joining me at Eastern Standard Time, New York. Good to see you, Wills, Kelvin Wong, Wilson Wang, Jamie. Wow, thank you so much for joining in, and it's really make me so touched. Jacqueline, so happy to see you. Yes, good evening. And who else did I miss? Some of you are commenting from Facebook or Twitter. Thank you very much. I see Bakwat. Who else? Jeffrey. Now it's 10:30 p.m. and kind of want you guys to know majority of my classmates right now, let me tell you where they are, right? They are out there in the casino. There's a casino very near to Harvard Business School, out there partying away. And I told them, sorry, I have to come back and do my YouTube live stream. They say, what? You're a YouTuber right now? I say, yeah, I'm a YouTuber right now, coming right here to make sure that I'm doing my right stuff to educate all of you how to connect the dots really properly. Wow, I see Vada in Miami. Welcome back, good to see you. And yes, I'm very happy to join all of you here today. And you know what really drives me in this motivation is every day we got to find a really powerful idea, and thereby we can fire off a trade. All right, so yesterday, for those of you who are part of our don't stop believing trades notification, you saw my WhatsApp, right? And I'm really excited about this trade that we fired off yesterday. Make sure you really follow it closely, and that will be the major team, the centerpiece of my 2022 centerpiece stock deployment. All right, so those of you who are onto the WhatsApp, I really need you to study the trade very carefully. And because I'm going to double down, quadruple down, even much more in very soon. All right, you'll find the trigger very soon in my upcoming alerts. I'm just kind of completing my thoughts about it. And of course, today we got a new, very new update that I'm going to bring across to all of us. We're going to discuss it really openly. So let me do a few things right here, right? Yes. So here we go. Let me first set it up and make sure I got all of you covered. And here we go. We are right there. Okay, that's good. So today what we're going to talk about is a very big piece of news that kind of started off on the 28th of July. And I'm going to go through the time frame, kind of navigate through, make sure that you guys really understand how to deploy this particular trade, all right? So we're going to start off with this first article. And thank you, those of you who just joined in with us. Really happy to see all of you, right? So here we go. The first idea for today. Pfizer quarterly sales surge to record high driven by COVID vaccine and antiviral treatment Paxlovid. This was dated 28th of July, right? So you guys got to really know, for each trigger event, we really nail down the time frame, all right? So 28th of July is not really that far away, okay? I mean, today we are sitting on the 20th of August, kind of about 3 weeks ago. But it will play out really nicely in terms of connecting the dots, in terms of really squeezing the time frame, and most importantly, step number 3, in terms of the price projection. Okay, so why is this guy so interesting? And this guy has been like kind of a moving sideways for the longest time. Here we go. We're going to dissect the key points. Pfizer revenue 47% to 27.7 billion compared to the second quarter last year. Booked a net income of 9.9 billion, a 78% increase over the same period during 2021. Pfizer maintained its 2022 sales guidance for its COVID-19 vaccine of 32 billion and is still expecting 22 billion for its oral antiviral Paxlovid. Now, this is the one that doesn't require injection, and the needle goes through, poke you, and you have a little bit of taste of blood. This is an oral intake. Now, I'm going to switch out for a little moment right here, because since the day I arrived in Boston, to be more precise, since the day I arrived in Boston, I've not wear a mask. Whether inside the Uber, inside the restaurant, or anywhere I go to, I've not wear a mask. And in my classroom, nobody wears the mask. No one wears the mask. I mean, there's one or two of them, and I asked them, why are you wearing the mask? They say, no, they are very sensitive to the new classroom, and that's the reason why they wear the mask, not because of COVID-19. Perfectly fine. I mean, I'm settled down right here. I arrived on which day? I arrived on the 6th of August, all right? So 20 minus 6, I kind of 2 weeks has passed by, right? 2 weeks have passed. No, sorry. I arrived on the 13th of August. That was exactly last Saturday. Today is a Saturday here. And I'm perfectly fine. None of my classmates caught COVID-19. No one got quarantined. But during the class, there were people who are just coughing away, and all we do is just like pretend nothing is happening. For me, I will freak out, run back to my room, and straight away eat lianhua. So I'm fine. And then the coughing, from the one or two guys who started coughing, and then I also kind of my throat started to get itchy, and I quickly take on this one. Oh, this one is sold out across Singapore, right? Oh, my dear wife bought for me, loaded up 2 boxes. One of the box I gave to my classmate. The other one I'm eating it right now. The moment my throat started to kind of get itchy, boom, quickly take one pack of it of the powder, and I'm fine. So the point I'm making is this. We're going to migrate from injection-based booster across right now to an oral intake antiviral Paxlovid. This will be the trend moving forward. I feel strongly about it because to me the test is like, for example, this is today, I walk with another classmate of mine, kind of go crazy. We walk like 90 minutes. 90 minutes trying to reach to a restaurant. And then we realized, oh my God, it's still far away from a restaurant. Then we took an Uber to the restaurant, and then we finished we finished the dinner, and then from the restaurant we took an Uber back to Harvard Business School. Guess what? Even the Uber driver doesn't wear masks anymore. So these are what we call grassroots check, and I feel strongly about this particular drug, right? More and more people will move on to the phase of consuming the what we call this Paxlovid, all right? So we trigger on the first dot. We really want to connect this first dot. We say, okay, we got to understand what the heck is going on with this special antiviral treatment and why Wall Street is excited about it, but the freaking stock price is not moving. Can we catch the spike before it starts to move? All right. So a few things we need to capture. First of all, the numbers. And I'm kind of indoctrinated, brainwashed during my time here in Harvard Business School. We really got to nail down the numbers. All right. So we got a finance professor, Professor Martin, kind of drill down. Every time you open up your spreadsheet, do the before, during, after kind of calculation. I got inspired about it. And I think I'm going to, moving forward, make it a habit to plot out on the Excel spreadsheet and really do the real comparison. All right. So he kind of given us some of the spreadsheet as the de facto exemplar template to work on. Okay. Pfizer booked 27.7 billion in revenue, 47% increase over the same period last year. and its largest quarterly sales on record. The pharmaceutical company reported 9.9 billion in net income, a 78% increase over the second quarter of 2021. All right, so numerically, you can see for yourself this guy is doing very, very well until perhaps we witness the full migration from injection-based vaccine across to oral intake. Right? So this is the one that I'm really, really championing right now. I seen it on ground. I seen nobody actually wear masks here in Boston. And in a more serious environment like a Harvard Business School, nobody wears masks except for my old professor, Professor Kanan. No, sorry, Professor Anand. How can I speak Kanan? Professor Anand, not Kanan. All right. I think he's just being careful about it. So far, I think he's the only professor that doesn't wear that is wearing a mask. All right. So let's nail this now. The vaccine brought in 8.8 billion in revenue for the second quarter. And see where I'm driving you guys to. All right. The vaccine means the injection-based regime that we gone through, right? Injection-based regime, and let me just nail this down. While sales of the oral intake 8.1 billion. Mama, can you see the variance right now? The variance is $0.7 billion, right? So this is according to my classmate Girish, he called it the inflection point. I call it the tipping point. I mean, there are many things many terminology to describe the same phenomenon. I call it the tipping point. All right, you can call it the inflection point. You can call it the switch over point. All right, 8.8 versus 8.1, and the company maintained its 2022 sales guidance for the vaccine of 32 billion, and is still expecting 22 billion for Paxlovid. So the two numbers that we are chasing right now, vaccine 32 billion and Paxlovid 22 billion. So the variance for this is 10 billion. All right. So very soon, Paxlovid will kind of go to 32 billion and vaccine drop to 22 billion. There will be a turnaround, right? There will be a turnaround. But you know what? What I sense is Paxlovid is much, much, much easier to administer as a prescription drug from the doctors, or you can buy over the counter. So this will fly off easily. It's just like buying another Panadol flu tablet, something like you got a headache, you eat Panadol, right? You got I don't know what other problems that you have. You have a cough, you drink the cough syrup. You have a flu, you take a flu tablet. You have a COVID-19, you take Paxlovid. That's it. It is so simple. This is what I call the migration from needles to oral intake. So I'm really excited about this, and I think this time right now, it is appropriate for us to think about this the inflection point or the tipping point or the switch over point, whatever we call it. Okay, so I'm covered on this part, and here we go. They are still talking a little bit more about the vaccine, but I'm just very focused on this turnover. So this article, one more time, 28th of July, right? So from this first article right now, I'm going to show you the second dot. So our business right here is to connect the dots from 28th of July. I'm going to connect the dot to 20th of August, which is today. Today now, all right, according to Boston time. Now, what is the article on 20th of August? Here we go. Ding. And right over here, FDA authorizes emergency use of Novavax COVID-19 vaccine for ages 12 to 17. All right. Now, this has nothing to do with Pfizer. This one, right now, I'm talking about second idea, point number 2, for those ages between 12 to 17. So this is kind of just happened. Novavax announced on Saturday which is today here in Boston, that COVID-19 vaccine has been authorized for emergency use by FDA for adolescents between ages of 12 and 17. In July, Novavax two-dose COVID-19 vaccine for adults ages 18 and above got its emergency approval from the FDA. So right now we got Pfizer, Moderna, we got Novavax. We are expanding the coverage of vaccine, right? So this coverage of vaccine, as we can see, it is a great migration on the age limit. We started off, originally when this whole vaccine broke out, we were really concerned about the elderly, right? Then from the elderly, we went across to the adults. Every adult out there, you got to be administered with with the vaccine. And right now, we span across the age group to 12 to 17. So it's a wide spectrum right now. And of course, right over here, and let me read out to you this very important paragraph. In July, Novavax two-dose COVID-19 vaccine for adults 18 and above got its emergency approval from FDA. But today, we are talking about those between 12 to 17. All right, so the age group has been enlarged. 12 years and above, everybody got access to the needle-based vaccination. All right, just call it my own language, needle-based vaccination. And from here, we kind of go down. Okay, what other thing can we talk about? Here, Pfizer, Moderna, and Novavax. But you know what's happening? The point I'm driving to dot number 3. Okay, why don't I ask the question and then you all answer? In fact, instead of you just sitting there waiting for answers from me, right? I connected the first dot from Pfizer, which is oral intake base. I call it the inflection point, the tipping point, the switch over point, whatever you call it, to the second dot of Novavax that kind of give us the visibility that the age group has been enlarged to 12 years old and above. You connect these two dots, what is the third dot that you need to connect with? Right? So let me pose this question right now. Ding, 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 ding. Time for you all to work. What is the third dot which we need to connect? Ding. All right, let me make sure I spell it right. Let me be the first guy to flash it out. There you go. I've flashed across the live chat, and I invite you guys, instead of being a bystander or a participant, a student listening or watching this YouTube, why don't you guys take a chance to push the third dot? What do you think is the third dot I'm thinking about? What do you think is the third dot I'm thinking about, so that we complete this thesis about from Pfizer to Moderna all the way to Novavax? Right? We're going to take a look at the 3 stocks anyway later on. Okay, so I welcome your views, and here you go. Play some music, and I'm going to eat my snack for tonight. Woo! Okay, today, for you guys, looks like you guys haven't really wake up yet, huh? So yes, Hiram talks about children vaccination. Jeffrey talks about next wave of COVID outbreak in winter. Adeline talks about Moderna. JLo talks about monkeypox vaccine. And of course, I'm very, very generic, or I'm being general in asking you a broad-based question of connecting two dots to arrive at the third dot, all right? And Bakwa talks about monkeypox vaccine. Now, it's good. All of you start to thinking about that angle, but we want to be precise to know which stock to play and how to make money. All right. So this is the part that drives my passion. So unfortunately, none got it right. That's the fun part. I may not be right at all. You check my blind spot, okay? So what I'm going to push across right now is this. I'm formulating the thesis, and here we go. We come back to this article. We say that. Hang on a minute. Let me drink my chrysanthemum tea. We say that Pfizer has offered the oral intake, and I believe there will be a migration from needle-based vaccine across to oral intake. Now, you guys can go in and debate about whether its efficacy is right, whether protection is right, and all kinds of debate. And we even have a classmate in my intake here telling everybody not to be vaccinated. Oh my gosh, that's a totally different topic altogether, right? We've gone past that already. I feel strongly we need to be vaccinated to have the confidence to go out there, meet up with people, interact back to the good old days before the pre-pandemic. But of course, you have your right of views on whether you should be vaccinated or not. But I think we've gone past the phase that we talk about don't get vaccinated. Most of us already are vaccinated, all right? So point number one, there'll be a migration to oral intake. Who will be the beneficiary? We talked about it just now that we're looking at Pfizer. Number two, the age group has been enlarged from 12 years and above. And again, over time, COVID-19 will just be a headache pill, a flu pill, or a cough syrup. It'll be just like a basic treatment. That's the third point I'm moving towards too. And if we believe this thesis to be true, who will benefit from it? The question is who will be the first to benefit, and thereby we can catch the spike. All right. So that's the third point I'm trying to unravel and trying to find out from the clues out here in this article. They talk about Pfizer, Moderna, and you see this is like reminding us, for those of you who've forgotten about it, Pfizer, Moderna are the first FDA approved vaccines to use mRNA, and my whole body is boosted 3 times by Moderna. All right, I'm just very, very selective. I don't want Pfizer in my body. I just want Moderna inside my body. Okay, but it's okay whether you're on Pfizer or Moderna. All right, so don't give me a debate. Some of you half Moderna, half Pfizer, doesn't matter. Some of you are like half Pfizer, half Sinovac, doesn't matter. Okay, as long as you go out there and get yourself vaccinated. Now, we come back to here about Novavax, the new kid on the block. But really, I want to pick up from this article is just that age group has been enlarged. All right, and I want to just scroll down and make sure I miss any key points. And of course, they are just getting approval in late June. It's no longer a priority for Novavax. That's the reason why it got delayed so long. The priority back then, last year, started in 2020. It was all about Pfizer and Moderna, right? So I think we kind of gone through that phase already. So FDA officials flagged 4 cases of myocarditis and pericarditis from Novavax clinical trial in young men 16 to 28. Right, so that is a little bit of concern, but nothing big. And of course, the rest, we push through, we ask for the third dot, we are done. I got one more article to go through with you, and then we can finally arrive at our final thesis, okay? Here we go. And we need to understand what the heck this article is trying to tell us. So recap before I unveil to you the final article. Number one, the oral intake is approved, and Pfizer is the first kid on the block to offer the oral intake. And point number one, there will be a big migration from needle-based vaccine. Finally, it will be treated like a flu pill, cough syrup, or headache pill. That's my thinking. Point number two, Novavax inform us that, okay, age group has been enlarged, 12 years and above, and whether you want to take Pfizer, Moderna, or Novavax, all right, age group has been enlarged. Point number three is the fact that since everything has been enlarged, moving forward, what will be the key primary treatment? So I'm going to take this final article to lead us into the final outcome. I have not made up my mind yet. All right. You should not make up your mind yet, but we formulate a framework to arrive at the final thesis. Here we go. Omicron specific COVID booster shots are just weeks away. Here's who will and won't be eligible. Published today on a Saturday at right here at Boston, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here we go. Ding. This one we really got to digest and read. Newly updated COVID booster shots designed to target Omicron's BA.5 subvariant should be available within the next 3 weeks. That begs an important question. Who's going to be eligible to get them? Right here, kind of affirm what we covered in the previous article. Anyone ages 12 and up who has completed a primary vaccination series, CDC and prevention spokesperson tells CNBC make it. It's unlikely to matter whether you have received any other booster doses or not before. Whether you've done the needle-based injection, yes or no, but if you are unvaccinated, you won't be eligible for the updated formula until you complete a primary series with the existing COVID vaccine. So let me make sure I understand this language, all right? Here we go. It is unlikely to matter whether you have received any other booster doses or not before. But if you are unvaccinated, you weren't eligible for the updated formula until you complete a primary series within the existing COVID vaccine. All right, so this tells me that Pfizer vaccines will be in the business for a long haul because everything that they want to launch, upgrade, advanced variants treatment, it must be centered on what they call completing a primary series within the existing COVID vaccine. So which are the three? Pfizer, Moderna, Novavax. Can't escape. All right? Done. And based on this primary series, then you can upgrade to take the more advanced booster against the subvariants that has evolved. So, wow, this is a tough article. We just have to repeat a few times to drive in the message, okay? The longer answer is somewhat more complex because it depends on which booster shots get approved and when. So Pfizer bivalent shot, which targets both the original COVID strain and Omicron's BA.5 subvariant, is expected to authorize first. So Pfizer will always be the front line. The CDC says it will likely come up with a wide eligible swath, the full group of vaccinated Americans ages up and above, 12 years and above. All right, so we know about that. The age group has crossed above. Right now, it's expanded from anyone 12 years and above. Moderna's bivalent shot is expected to follow suit after, most likely in October. So we are right now sitting in August. We got 2 more months for Moderna to kick in. It will come with a somewhat narrow range of eligibility, at least at first, vaccinated people ages 18 and above. For both shots, younger pediatric age groups could become eligible later. All right, so this needle-based vaccine is in for the long haul. And any other thing that we need to know about is right over here. Pfizer and Moderna are able to manufacture and roll out by next month, which is September, and that will affect the earnings for Q4, October, November, December. So we are all lining up all these dots right now just to predict the next EPS. If the supply is limited, the shots could first be available to those most at risk, such as elderly and immunocompromised. Any other thing we need to know about? Okay, so far, should I get a 4th booster shot now or wait for the Omicron specific shots? So I think this is a valid question. We kind of getting confused. Hey, I got 3 booster shots in my body. Should I get a 4th one? Or I just get a shot that's variant specific like the Omicron? So here we go. Here's the answer. And I think I'm also equally curious, like so many of you wanting to know what the heck this is talking about. If you haven't received your second booster dose yet, the advice is to get it now rather than holding off in anticipation of the updated boosters. That advice could apply to a lot of people among adults 50 and above who are eligible for a second booster shot. Only 33.2% have gotten it. Wow, the number is low in the US, all right, according to the latest CDC data. My general feeling is no reason to wait, go get it, and even if we are only a few weeks away, he added that people who get boosted now will still be able to get the BA5 shot in a few months when their immunity from the booster wanes. So we go down, and the blah blah blah, and any other thing that we need to know about, and we come down right to here. Done. We are done on the coverage of the news article. So by now, you have certain thinking in your mind. I know for sure these guys are going to keep milking the world's population, not just the American population. All right, anyone who's afraid of the virus will get themselves vaccinated, and in fact, move on to take the oral pills like a headache pill, flu pill, or the cough syrup. No difference. But what we need to see right now is the stock chart. What does the stock chart teach us? All right. We can spend all night long talking about all the CDC, all the vaccine, all the oral pills. Nothing beats the stock chart because this is what the market is measuring Pfizer for. So I'm gonna bring out right here, really nice. Oops, 2020, and here we go. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Check this out. This is Pfizer. And we always start off with bottom left 2020, bottom right where we are today, okay? And we're going to plot this out. So Pfizer is sitting forever nicely right here in the $45, $55 range. You can't get any lower than 45 because the whole world depends on it. But can we make really big money out of Pfizer? This is the point in time we have to zoom in into the current rate box where the price candles have fallen below the 200-day simple moving average line. All right, so I'm going to, from here, kind of zoom into here, somewhere around here, and we unravel the following spots. All right, here we go. Oops. Here we go. Okay, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Okay, so you kind of know the patterns right here. Every time the candles fallen into the red circle I painted in front of you, it will bounce up. All right, so this is the bounce that we are talking about. And then I add on one more line. This line is important. This line will tell us that 47.5 is a golden number that it cannot breach. It's been stabilized since November last year until today. It's kind of the moment it dropped below that, you better show hand buy everything that you can buy. All right. So the game plan is, can we have the opportunity to buy when the stock price touches 47.5? That is the key question I'm asking today. Whether it's a hair drop or a candle breach, you touch 47.5, do or die, don't ask why. We're going to go in and ramp it up, all right? So that's the first question. The second question is, do we buy the stocks or the options? Do we buy the stocks or the options? All right. So, the highest that it can ever travel to, I mean, it's kind of, this guy's kind of made up their mind, it's like, where's my red box? It doesn't want to go above 60. What the heck? Just refused to. I mean, it only managed to breach it back in December last year, 2021. And please remember what happened back then. Cold winter season. Everybody kind of freak out by the new variant that's coming out into the marketplace. And as a result, push the stock price of Pfizer into my red rectangular box, the $60 range. What month are we in right now? August. When is winter coming? November, December. And at point in time, everybody will come and pay their respects, bow down, and worship Pfizer again. And that is the time I believe this guy will move something like this. It will enter into our $60 range. Okay? Now, if that is true, the highest form of leverage is to go and get an options. And this is where the magic happens. What is the expiration date? What's the strike price? Now, these are this is like our proprietary Kung Fu Panda secrets that we don't tell in the public like a YouTube channel. Because you guys love, the moment you come to my YouTube channel or Facebook, you are bombarded with all kinds of jokers out there targeting my channel. And they run gimmicky ads, all that. And please go and click as many times of those ads that you've seen so that they will spend money. But I mean, if you like the idea of the dark side, go ahead. Nobody will do this kind of analysis with you here, patiently connecting dot one, dot two, dot three, and then formulating a strategy so that you grow as a person. So, one of my classmates in Harvard Business School asked me today during the breakfast. We start off the class like at 9 o'clock, and then 10:30 will be our first break, right? 1.5 hours. And then one guy came up to me. We've been talking about Tesla, and he said, "Hey, have you heard of this YouTuber in Singapore?" I mean, he's an American, He heard of this YouTuber in Singapore. I say, "Yeah, I kind of know that guy. I really do not know what has he ever built in his life, but he became viral on YouTube, and people kind of started to follow him." And he said, "You know what? I didn't agree with what he said. I put in a comment, and the entire community came and bombed me." Welcome to Singapore. And so these Americans say, what's wrong with this community? That guy is preaching nonsense, and I corrected him, and people come and bomb me, right? It happens. It happens simply because it is easier not to use wisdom, but to take shortcuts. It happens because people want to get rich fast, not to get rich slow. And it happens because sometimes, when I go through these painful steps of connecting the logic, by the time I arrive, I finish dot number one, I think half of the audience, I lost it already. They say, "Wow, this is painful work. Why don't you just tell me what to buy?" And I will never tell you what to buy. Because I want you to work on your brains. And this should be sustainable. And I want to create a culture, a community of people who believe in analysis, connecting the dots, putting in the grind, and arriving at the logic. I mean, most of the time, I don't give you the final answer. You have to work out the answer. And for those of you who are part of the don't stop believing trade notification, then you'll see the trade I fire off, so that you use that as a benchmark. And many of you start to modify the benchmark by pricing below my price, by challenging the strike price or expiration date. If I go and buy the stock, then oftentimes you wait for the bloody stock to drop so below your teacher, and you buy it and you celebrate like hell. Right? So I serve as the de facto benchmark. I done my analysis, and you push it further. Now that's good. You don't follow blind. But the analysis is the part that gets me excited. All right. So that's what I want to comment. And when I put this guy back here, you think about the various dots that I'm seeing in front of me. You go through the 3 points I covered, and you say, "Oh, this is fascinating stuff," right? That is what investing is all about. So help me, help our community go and spread the word. Go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell them this is the de facto channel you should be listening and watching, because We want to be educated on the art of analysis. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. And for those of you who are in the part of my Don't Stop Believing, I will fire off a trade right after this. I hope, I can still log into the account. Today is a weekend already. But, I hope this is an enjoyable session. Now, thank you very much for those of you in Asia. That's Singapore morning time. I hope I didn't waste your time. I want to make it productive for you. So can I just turn on my chat right here and tell me how you're going to spend your Sunday? Wow. How are you going to spend your Sunday? Ding. Okay. JLo, enjoyable as always. Glad that you enjoy it. And Hiram, you're sleeping same time as me. And just share with me how you're gonna spend your Sunday. Are you gonna go to church? Are you gonna do a workout? JLo gonna gonna go to work soon at the road show. Yeah, very good. Ryan gonna attend church service. Very, very good. Please go back to the Lord. And Hiram spending time with grandchildren. I think watching Netflix or Disney Plus. Jamie learning something and new stuff. Third generation luncheon. Wow, three generation luncheon. Wow, that's very, 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 very good. All right. I imagine grandparents, parents, and your generation. Um, Daniel going to church, Jim going to jog. Now I tell you what I'm going to do on my Sunday morning. I'm going to go with my classmates to do a morning walk at 8 a.m. I think Girish is going to make us walk like holy moly, at least 90 minutes. And then we're going to have breakfast at the Boston Business District area. Today I walked across the Mass Bridge called the Massachusetts Bridge. Really beautiful. Took some pictures there. I hope to share with you all. And Calvin going to the supermarket to stock up grocery instead another lockdown. Yeah. I mean in China you got to really, really stock up. Just load up, man. Just load up. Jacqueline spend time with children. Wonderful. Adeline going for a walk. Okay, good. So make sure you are productive on your Sunday. Go and work out. And I tell you what I'm gonna do on my Sunday. Holy moly. I'm gonna go for my walk, come back, and I'm gonna crash cross. I'm gonna bash through this coming week. I think about 4 times 5, 20. I got 20 journal papers to read up. Oh my gosh. I want to be fully prepared, and I'm also going to review what we done in the past 1 week. So much things, so much so high quality stuff, right? Need time to internalize, and then I need to develop a framework to put into action. So thank you for spending time with me today here. Wait for my WhatsApp. I hope to fire off before I go to sleep. And thank you so much. You have a blessed Sunday. May God bless all of you. Thank you and goodbye. Bye bye, everyone.